and it did not work because people are just being loud, and neighbors trash people, bash baby. So I'm getting frustrated, and I just want to get this out there because I've been wanting to film this video for a while, and while I was able to put myself somewhat together, I wanted to go ahead and share my labor and delivery horror story with you. And if y'all are new to my channel, this is some real stuff. I'm never not transparent with you guys, so I just want to be honest about what happened. I've been honest so far, but I just want to give you guys an update. This is Zara, so you can guys see her in real time. Excuse me, Bash. I'm on a video. So let me tell y'all. As you know, if you've been following my journey, that I've had a rough pregnancy with my insurance people, the provider, so on and so forth. So, and if you guys watched my labor and delivery vlog, you know that I had a horrible experience with the labor and delivery nurses. Sebastian! And it was just a mess. So during the time of my delivery, because she arrived so quickly after I arrived to the hospital, I was 6 centimeters dilated. I think she's gonna start teething. I was 6 centimeters dilated. Everything happened so fast that I could not vlog before I had the baby. So everything was so quick. And I noticed that every time I asked them about my blood pressure, because they had the cuff on my arm for so long, so much, so often, I was like, why you guys keep checking my blood pressure? Is everything okay? And they was like, oh, everything is fine. It's a little elevated, but not that bad. And I was like, I've had a baby before. They ain't had this thing on my arm basically the whole time I was in labor, so it's something wrong. And I could tell by their affect that something didn't seem right, and I could tell by their nonverbal cues. It was just a whole bunch of things that led me to believe something was wrong, but they wasn't as forthcoming with me. So, hold on. She sucks the pacifier. I think she's sleepy. So, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna keep this in the back of my mind, and I'm gonna request my medical record for this, because I just don't feel like they've been honest with me this whole time. So for my 6-week checkup, I was not able to be seen by the same provider because my insurance changed in the new year, and I still wasn't 6 weeks by the time the new year hit. So at the end of the day, I had to wait up to 8 weeks or so to be seen by a gynecologist to check my hoo-ha to make sure I was healed correctly, because you guys know I did have a 2nd-degree tear. When she came out like this. So I did call the provider before I went to my current insurance and asked, like, do you guys offer a transition of care? I don't feel like that's really effective for you guys to deliver a baby and then not see the patient to make sure that they're okay, because that's something major that happened under your care. You need to check and follow up with, you know, my health recovery. But they was like, no, you're gonna have to foot the bill if we see you. And at the time of delivery, she even told me, and it was a midwife that delivered her, she even told me that it possibly would be a I'm so sorry, people want to be loud today. Can you guys hear me? I hope y'all can hear me. Bash, can you shut the door? So it will possibly be a phone follow-up. I said, how are you gonna check me for my 6-week follow-up if it's over the phone? Like, you guys need to check me to make sure I'm healed correctly, because I wasn't healed the first time I had my first baby, and I had to have like I had to be glued. So I was like, you know what? That's wrong. So I had to go through this whole process of contacting my current insurance provider, who I had to be Bash, minimize the noise, please. I'm on the phone, please. Go in daddy room. Go in daddy office, please. So I had to be seen by my new primary care provider first, and then they had to send a referral to a gynecologist to see me, and that took like 2 to 3 weeks. And I'm like, I still haven't been seen. Something doesn't feel right down there. Every time I sat for an extended period of time, it hurts, especially on the left side of the inside of my hoo-ha. I'm like, something is just not right. So I did finally get seen by a gynecologist. I was about 8 to 9 weeks postpartum, and he checked me. He was like, no, you are... you did this to me. He was like, no, you are not healed fully, and there's 2 different kind of sutures that they could use. Thank you. In order to make sure that you are stitched up correctly, and the kind that provider used is the kind that takes a longer time to heal, and some women's bodies reject it. He's saying your body is rejecting the sutures that she used on you. And I was like, so basically she used the cheap stuff on me. He was like, yeah. And I was like, that makes sense. So I wasn't healed correctly. And he had the nerve to tell me the one thing that's going to help me. Can you stop, baby, please? Bash is cutting up this morning. He's the one thing that will help me heal faster is to have sex. And I was like, that's the one thing I'm scared to do. I don't want to do that. He was like, I bet your husband is waiting on this appointment. I'm like, yes, he is. And now I got to tell him that? I'm not ready for that. He was like, well, you got to spread your wings, and that's how you're going to heal. And I was like, I'm over here thinking he's going to be empathetic and like, oh, I'm going to extend you for disability because you're not healed. No, he's a man, and I think it's a man-doctor thing because my last doctor with Bash was a woman, and she extended me. So, no, I didn't get extended despite being not healed fully. So, I was like, well, that's pretty messed up. And he did give me some, like, creams and medicine to help with the hypersensitivity or whatever. So I'm frustrated with that. So I did get my blood drawn at that appointment. He was like, I want to just check a little bit. He wouldn't touch me the whole pregnancy anyway, so it didn't even matter. Bash, please. You shaking my camera, boy. So I was like, okay, he took my blood, and a couple weeks later, I get a call from the doctor. And y'all know the doctor don't call you unless something is wrong. And I missed the call. So I'm like, okay, I don't know what that is. So I called him back. He was at the hospital that day. Bash, here, put that right there, because you're shaking the camera. So I'm like, he didn't answer when I called him back, and then he took another 2 days to call me to give me an update of why he called me. And he was like, have you ever heard of toxemia in pregnancy? And I was like, no, even though I have. I'm like, no. He was like, well, you had toxemia in pregnancy, and it's still lingering in your blood 2 months later. I said, what? Okay, put this in English for me. He was like, basically, your blood pressure was extremely high during pregnancy, and you have a kidney malfunction right now, and it's showing up in your blood work. I'm like, what am I supposed to do about that? He was like, they should have detected that when you was late in your pregnancy. Did you pee for them, and did they take your blood? I said, yes, I never missed the lab or anything, and I peed every time I went for a doctor's checkup. They even took pee samples when I was in a hospital. So how did they not detect that? He was like, they just probably didn't say anything, but it's still lingering in your blood, and you're having kidney issues. And I was like, okay, but is it something I'm supposed to take to kind of ameliorate the side effects? I'm like, I've been having headaches and stuff. Does that go with the symptoms? He was like, yeah, severe headaches can contribute to be like a symptom, and if it's left untreated, it could be deadly, or you can start having like kidney failure and some other organ. I was like, I said, okay, so what are you going to do since you're my new gynecologist? He was like, your next appointment is not until May, so I'll check your blood work then. I said, so basically I'm supposed to be just sitting here knowing I have like kidney issues because I had toxemia in pregnancy that's lingering. He was like, yeah, if you don't feel like you're about to pass out or anything, and you're just feeling pretty much normal, then it's no need for me to do anything. And I was like, this is where you're gonna hear my frustration. And this is just my personal opinion. Obviously, I'm not a doctor or no medical professional, but I do feel like they do not take Black maternal health seriously at this point, and I'm on a mission to secure Black providers moving forward, because I've complained about my pregnancy the whole time. My provider was not of my ethnicity. And even my current gynecologist is not of the same gender as me, which I prefer a woman. So he can't tell me how I'm feeling. And I do prefer to have a Black gynecologist. That's just a personal preference, because complain. I really feel like my last insurance company almost killed me. They could have killed me. And if I wasn't hypervigilant about not laboring at the hospital, who's to tell me that they wouldn't have saved my life? You know what I'm saying? I did not share this with you guys, but I was boo-hoo crying before I went into labor. I was pulling out my life insurance papers, crying to my husband. He was like, why you didn't do this with Bash? I said, it's something about this hospital and these providers that does not make me feel secure and my life in their hands. And I said, and if he was like, well, if it came between you and the baby, I would have to choose you because, I mean, you're my wife, you know, and Bash needs you. I need you, and we can have another baby. You know, I love the baby, but, and I was like, and that's just the sad reality of what we had to have a conversation about. What's wrong, mommy? She is fat. Let me lift it up a little bit because I gotta feed her. Okay, so I was like, you know what? I was pulling out my insurance papers and I was like, here they are. If something was to happen, like, this is where they will be, because I just don't trust my life with them in their hands, and because they have been dismissed. Okay, here, mommy. Okay. Because they've been so dismissive my entire process or my entire journey, I just don't feel. What's wrong? You are tripping today. You showing these people that you cutting up. So I just had to process. It must be coming out too fast. So I'm struggling. My grandma is supposed to be here to help me with the kids, and she gone. She's road runner, so I'm letting Nick Hale's at work, so she don't want the titties. So at the end of the day, I digress. At the end of the day, nothing happened. And I do feel like it was God telling me not to go to the hospital and labor with them, because if they would have, quote unquote, detected my high blood pressure, you know, while in labor, they would have had an emergency C-section, and then they probably would have took the baby. I probably would have been passed out somewhere on the table. I just don't trust it. And there's too many people that have lost babies in this process or died trying to give birth because the hospital is like, it's either you or them. And my grandma did tell me that she was in a coma when she had my mom because she had toxemia in pregnancy, and she was in a coma for 2 weeks. And I was like, and they told her, it's either you or your baby. And I was like, oh, that is so eerie and like ironic. And I'm so glad that did not become my ultimatum. But I do feel like if you have a hunch, you need to follow it. And if you don't trust your medical provider, you need to speak up and advocate for yourself, because nobody's going to advocate for you like yourself. And regardless if you offend somebody, it's your health. And if you're paying for this insurance, you need to get the care that you deserve too. Like, I'm paying for this, and they was treating me like I was just a bum on the street that had a baby with drugs in my system. Like that, I just had the worst treatment. So I do have headaches still. The hypersensitivity have subsided since the last time I was seen. And I do have to be on iron because I'm anemic still. It's always been a lifetime issue. The prenatal pills that I'm on has a lot of minerals and vitamins in it anyway, so I do feel like that helps. But honestly, I don't feel safe. And because of how the nurse treated me when I had the baby, it was very, very rude. I am going to follow up with filing a grievance on that, because yes, I did tell her supervisor, but who's to tell me that the supervisor didn't follow up with that? So I did request my medical records, and I am going to have to look through it and have somebody else look through it to see if they ever wrote down that I had toxemia and pregnancy and didn't say anything, or they do record your blood pressure, so I don't know how to read that stuff. So I'm going to have somebody who understands it, maybe like a nurse. I got a couple people I know that are RNs that can look at it and just let me know, like, is that a normal range? Because at this point, I feel blessed to have, still be alive and be able to take care of these kids and be here for my family. But it was horrible, and it's to the point where I'm traumatized that I do want to have another baby, but open enrollment, take it serious. Like, if you had a horrible experience, change your insurance. And even though it will change in the new year, you know that things will be different moving forward. But I do feel like because they discharged me after 1 day from being in a hospital, that contributed, and I feel like that can contribute to postpartum depression and also like your healing. And so many women out here struggling with depression and anxiety because of the pandemic, because of not feeling like they have the support, and because I did not feel supported my whole pregnancy by my provider. I do feel like that contribute. And I'm strong-minded, and I had to learn how to be that way. But if I wasn't who I am, I could be, in a worse off position. So I have a disgust with the medical field today because they are so dismissive and treat people like they're on a conveyor belt. And I know the pandemic is contributing to the level of care that I'm receiving, or people are receiving, because they don't want you in their office for too long. But especially if you're a first-time parent too, or if you had medical issues, she had echogenic focus in her heart and all that stuff, like, you need to be mindful that we are all very scared being pregnant and everything. You need to have some consideration for people's feelings. And they didn't. But they messed with the wrong one, because I got a mouth and I'm going to use it. And if I have to use it on this platform to warn people or prepare people with how things are when you have a baby during a pandemic, that's what I'm going to have to do. I've been real with y'all since day one. And hopefully the pandemic is over by the time I have another baby, but I know for sure it's not going to be with that insurance provider or that insurance company or that medical provider. I know that for sure. If that's something that I control, I will. So I've done that. But I tried to film a video and put everything nice in the video for you, but it's just too much happening, and this is reality. So thank y'all for watching. I had to get that off my chest. She's looking at me. And if you have any questions that I did not discuss in this video, go ahead and comment them down below. If you have any questions right now, I'm gonna give y'all a couple minutes to shoot so I can answer them. If not, then comment down below if you're scared, or you can DM me on Instagram in a private message, and I'll answer your questions there. But I don't want you guys to think I went ghost on y'all because I haven't filmed a video. It's just hard to film videos with a newborn and a toddler who are very demanding. And when he gotta pee on cue. It's just hard to do a lot of things. I'm trying to find my niche. But thank y'all for following my journey and staying supportive this whole time. I am still working out. Don't think I stopped. If y'all follow me on Instagram, I'm trying to get right, trying to get back fine. So subscribe to my channel if y'all want to follow that journey too. And I'm just unapologetically myself. So if you like that, then hit that subscribe button. Say bye. Say bye to the people, Mr. Rude. Say bye, Zara. She did have a bath last night. She got an attitude. Come say bye, Bash, because they haven't seen you. It was wash day last night. You do got to advocate for yourself. Ask questions before I get off. What I mean by advocate for yourself, do enough to where they don't ban you. But my Instagram is at dizzyfree_, at DIZZYFREE_, and I'm on that more than a different one that I have. So you'll see more live updates on there, whether it's my Insta story or I'm posting pictures about us, And I haven't went live, so I just wanted to go live too. But it is scary, and if y'all pregnant, I'm not trying to scare you guys because everybody's situation is different, and we obviously might not have the same medical provider or insurance company. But best believe if you see something not right, call it out, because who's to say? And it just blows my mind that my husband was almost not able to see the baby be born or support me because that lady was just so focused on my IV. It was crazy. It's insane to me. It was horrible. It was really horrible. And I really wish somebody with a bigger platform could share my story for me or interview me. And I will be honest, I don't care. I don't care. I will out you. And I know one person that works at that medical insurance company who can pull information from the inside or direct me to the right person in order to make sure that my voice is heard. So it's all about who you know too, which is the sad part. So follow me on Instagram, follow me on TikTok at DizzyFree, and subscribe to my channel for more. In my next video, I will be posting some more updates about my postpartum recovery. I have lost about 10 pounds. It don't look like it because I feel like I'm gaining muscle. But I am going to be doing the Chloe Tings 2020 2-week shred. 2-week shed. I don't know what she call it. But I'm going to be doing that challenge soon. I'm just trying to get some cute workout clothes to keep me motivated. And if y'all are down for that, follow that journey too. I'm going to film it in like consecutive videos, and then I'll post it the before and after, see if there's anything. I've never done a challenge before. I never succeeded at one, so this is going to be hard. But I digress. Thank you guys for watching my video, and I will catch y'all in the next one. Got my little ring light.